Typhoon Maming unleashed some of the worst lahar flows since the eruption of Pinatubo. The destruction in its wake must be the worst since then, at least in Pampanga. The death toll is staggering. It is estimated that anywhere from 500 to 1,000 people lie buried around here. The scene is like Africa, but the place is just next door. This is Teddy Locsin Jr. on assignment, back again in Pampanga to revisit the renewed devastation, incompetence, and corruption caused by lahar. What a way to spend the weekend and start a new week. Before Maming struck Saturday night, the residents of San Fernando and Cabalantian were lucky. They had been successfully eluding the ravages of lahar since the eruption of Mount Pinatubo. Last Saturday, nature finally caught up with them. San Fernando is Pampanga's capital and trading center, while Cabalantian is the last surviving barangay of lahar-buried Bacolor. Just a week ago, there was a big rally billed as "To Dike or to Die." Residents say they were made to believe that there was no cause for alarm, and yet the town died. It died under the lahar despite the promises of the politicians.
To the president this morning, I told him about this rally, and he asked me to deliver a message to the people of Pampanga who will be here today that he is not going to abandon Pampanga. He will be saving what can be saved.
Pero ang sinasabi niya sa amin, ang San Fernando, saka Cabantian, didepensa nila sa lahar. Kaya nagkumpiyansa kami, alam namin noon, nakadepensa na.
Nangako sila na safe na yung bandang Cabalantian kasi automatic pag nalagyan ng Cabalantian, malalagyan din ng San Fernando, adjoining town ng San Fernando ang Bacolor.
In the wake of the killer typhoon, there were heart-wrenching scenes of suffering, the worst onslaught of lahar since the eruption of Mount Pinatubo.
Si Bito mas worse ito kaysa first explosion. Nung unang pumutong ang Pinatubo, lahat ay tuyo, no? Makatakbo ka. Dito ngayon ay lumalangoy ang mga tao, nag-rubber boat, nakabangka, kinukuha sa bubungan.
Scores of homes were swept under. Families huddled on rooftops as the floodwaters raged around them, waiting vainly for rescuers.
Mabuti ho hindi nilagnat kasi ho, nakahapon basang-basa na sa bubong kami, wala hong nagre-rescue sa amin. Sana ho may dumating na rescue, talagang maabutan na kami ng ng lahar. Sa tulong na lang ng Diyos, kaya kami naligtas.
Even those who had become jaded by scenes of devastation were horrified by what they saw in Cabalantian.
Marami pa kaming hinahanap. Marami pa kaming di nakita. Most sa mga nakita namin wala na, patay na. Most of them, mga bata lang, gano'n yung mga bata. Pero nung on the spot, pagdating ng lahar, October 1st, yung morning na yon, marami ho kaming nakuha patay na bata, yon yung mga naanod na.
Pagdating yung bato, ay lang, nakakabunan yung isang bata. Tapos yung tatay, pumunta doon, sa mga puno, nakahawak. Tapos may saklolo sa kanila. Nakuha yung dalawang bata, yung isa, natabunan no. Naunahin yan, wala ang taga na.
The need for relief was dire, but the clamor could not be heard above the roar of the flood.
Lahar, pure Lahar. There are more or less 1,200 families. Inaabot yan sa individuals. 20. So, hindi na 1,200 families. It's 20,000 persons ang involved. And all of these families are now displaced. No? Unang-una, wala naman kaming sasakyan. Our office is paralyzed.
The National Coordinating Council Chairman, Defense Secretary Renato de Villa, visited the area and saw for himself the vast extent of the tragedy. He told the assignment that his people were working around the clock and that the rescue work was going smoothly.
Well, as you can see, the evacuation is going on. We are evacuating as many as there are that needs to be evacuated. What I want to say is that we are assuring the people that we can move them, we can take care of them.
We started with 4 helicopters and 2 rubber boats. Tapos we were augmented by this morning by about 15 rubber boats. No? So we deployed them dito sa San Fernando. Pati nga, ibang mga ambulansya na gito, galing pa sa Angeles, iba sa Tarlac, and then yung sa Special Forces na galing pa sa Malolos, saka sa Magsaysay. Patuloy po ang pag-rescue hanggang ngayon.
Yung priority na lang namin yung ibang mga matatanda na at saka yung mga bata na meron iba na mga dying na doon. Napakahirap po. Talagang nakakapagod at saka maraming factors na yung hangin, may yung mga yero pa na kasi hindi na natin masisi yung mga tao kasi hindi nila alam na helicopter, lumilipad pala yung mga yero na gano'n. Minsan natatagalan kasi akala nila banat lang ng banat, marami pa mga antena doon, may mga tali, delikado yun na biglang pumulupot yun sa kailangan, kiniklear muna namin
But these efforts were not enough. The government's disaster preparedness and relief programs were once more put to the test.
Muli itong ating disaster preparedness at saka yung ating rescue. Tapos walang pupuntahan. Alam nyo kung bakit nabuksan ito? Kasi kagabi pinilit ko may commandeer na itong lugar na ito dahil sinasabi muna ng DSWD, paano naman daw gagamitin ito? Naka-rent lang sila sa third floor. Merong private na may-ari dito. Sabi ko, sigurado naman yung may-ari, hindi naman yung magagalit kung gagamitin natin ito.
Naghihingi kami ng rescue. Bakit naman po yung lahat ng may radyo naman silang alam namin, may telephone number sila tinatawagan. Wala akong nag-responde that time. Nag-responde ko sila kahapon na lang. Uli na po.
The RDCC chief, PNP Regional Director Diony Ventura, pleaded best efforts, but could not deny the lousy results.
Kompleto tayo dito ng gamit ngayon. Kanya lang talagang laganap yung disaster. Kung kaya't kailangan pa mas maraming gagawin pa. Kung mayroong mga gamit tayo pero talagang widespread yung nangyari.
Sir, buhat nung nilalahar kami hanggang ngayon wala pa kaming nakitang matinding trabahong nagawa nila para sa amin. Palagi yung pagdating nila, wala na. Pag-ayos na yung panahon, pag yung mga tao namatay na, patay na kinukuha nila, lubog na talaga yung mga iba, naanod na yung iba. Pero the time na lumalaki yung lahar, wala ko kaming support or rescue na dumarating. Kamukha ko nang nagdaan nito. Bahala na po kung magalit sila sa akin. Pero yung problema namin, telephone, sa mga sa mga frequency ng mga sa communication frequency, meron kami mga frequency nila tinatawagan namin, wala akong nag-acknowledge.
We are coordinating properly, and as head of the council, I'm telling you that we are closely coordinated with all the members of the council.
Senator Gloria Macapagal could not hide her disgust and displeasure.
Mawa ko kay General Ventura na siya ang chairman ng Regional Disaster Coordinating Council na magkita sana kami para tignan kung ano pang magagawa. Pati siya stranded sa Olivas. Tapos nung dumating na ako dito, hindi na kami magka-communicate dahil na-drain na lahat ng mga communications equipment. Di siyempre mismo yung headquarters ng RDCC hindi nila alam kung anong nangyayari. At saka sana naman pag nagkakaroon ng disaster, hindi lang yung standby yung 4 na helicopter ang narito. Kailangan yung mga nandun din sa headquarters sa Maynila, pupunta rin dito. At yung patrol boat sana dapat hindi nahihintayin na manawagan. Kailangan talagang i-systematize na natin ang ating disaster preparedness at ang ating rescue system.
Survivors said they were caught unawares because the government had failed to warn and to prepare them.
Nag-warning po sila nung Saturday pero hindi naman po totoo. Wala naman po kaming narinig.
The RDCC, on the other hand, blames the victims for refusing to heed warnings it says it gave.
Verbal orders through our radio. Meron kaming radionet na UHF, itong bago naming RDCC radionet. Talagang ibang makasama natin, kababayan natin, ayaw umalis.
Inside Cabalantian and San Fernando, there were sad tales to tug at the heart. Tales of miraculous escapes, continuing want, and suffering.
Masakit sa amin, maraming namatay. Hanggang ngayon, wala pa. Oo. Yung mga puko, hindi ko pa nakita eh. Mga 10 meron. Saka yung nakikita nyo rito, yung mga bangkay dumadaan dito. Ang dami.
Along what used to be national roads, evacuees trudged by newly created streams.
Wala, hindi naman nilog ito. May nakatayong bahay dito. Dinala lang yung bahay.
In still flooded areas, they hopped from rooftop to rooftop. Many walked around aimlessly, with nowhere in particular to go. Others sought in vain for their missing family members. More begged for food, clothes, medicine, money. Residents complain of not getting any relief goods from government agencies.
Tulad doon ito, paano namin makakain ito? Dumi-dumi, nasisira, binabagsak galing sa helicopter. Namin inaasahan ng gobyerno namin dito sapagkat ganito. ABS-CBN sapagkat siya lang na pumasok dito sa amin nagsakripisyo. Maging lumulubog yung kanilang mga sasakyan. Nagtitiis sila, makuha lang ang aming kalagayan dito.
Tulungan nyo naman kami. Ang mga anak ko, kawawa naman. Wala kaming makayat, kahit lang bigas lamang. Para may bahit subo ko sa aking mga anak at mga kapatid.
They urge the civic-minded to course their donations through religious groups or the NGOs, and not, they stress, through government relief operations where these goods are stolen or lost. You wonder how anyone could stomach taking such advantage of so much misery. Wonder no more. We're dealing here with public officials who can stomach anything and will swallow everything. After Maming unleashed again floods of lahar, over 100 evacuation centers sprouted up in Pampanga alone. Now this sounds impressive, makes government look like it's finally got an act together that isn't stealing from the Pinatubo Fund. But it is not what it seems. A number of the evacuation centers are not government organized. They are simply places where people rent to because they were on higher ground. In fact, when people first ran to these places for refuge, they were not allowed in despite the severity of the flooding.